to Vlogmas Day 18. I know I've shared this a number of times. I'm very late in getting my wrapping completed. But just in case you are a new subscriber or just want a refresher, this is how I store my wrappings for Christmas. For any other occasion, it's actually in my craft cubby. I've got 3 ways of storing your wrappings, especially for Christmas. It can be for any sort of occasion as well. There's this box, and it took me a couple of years to be able to get this because I kept saying I'd wait till after Christmas, then they were gone. I've said this a number of times when I brought this up. It has got the lid. I think it was quite expensive originally. I don't know if it was $14.99 or $19.99. It was from Wilko's, but if you want to go down this route, it's quite a long box, so you can get your rolls of wrapping paper in neatly. I'm lucky because I've got a raised pine bed, so it will slot under there, and I don't put any of my Christmas wrapping actually up in the loft anymore. This just slides under the bed. The only problem is it's extremely heavy. So if I'm not actually wrapping up in the main bedroom, or I haven't got one of the guys around to lift it down for me, then I use something like this. This has usually got my wrapping papers that I'm actually started. I have them for different members of the family. We've got Olaf there, and what else have we got? We've got Mickey and Minnie, like Disney. And one of my favourites is this dinosaur one, which I'm sure our granddaughter had that last year. And just like mainly for adults. I've got a couple just for adults. My absolute favourite is this car one. I got a lot of that off of out of Wilko's after Christmas. I'm about out of it. I think that's all I've got left. It wasn't that price. I think I only paid something 25 or 50p for it. And yes, this was another of my favourites. Look at that, the Grinch. I'm not sure, but I think that might have been Primark. But these are some of my favourites. This one not so much. I tend to use this because it's quite thin and I've got a lot of it. I think it might have come from the Card Factory or something like that, and it's quite thin, so I tend to use that more for wrapping up things that if it's going on the table, or it's not going to last, if you know what I mean, or if we've done, which we've done years ago, like Christmas parcel and things like that, I tend to use that, and I have got quite a few, which leads me to another way. It's one of those that I think it had pillars or something in, and that's got more like wrapping paper that hasn't been started. As I said, all this actually stays under our main bed, and then in this way you can put any bows, scissors or anything, or tags in the top bit here. This was a gift, but I've seen them in Clean Easy and a lot of things online. You probably can get them in stores as well, but I've said this again a number of times. When I was working, people bought me for my birthday, Christmas and everything, boxes, organising things, because they knew I liked that sort of thing, and I was really pleased. But as I said, a lot of the different, there's another sort of Mickey and Minnie, but I'm getting low on those. So they're the ones that I normally go to first. Although I did start these I got, I'm sure I got these last year. And as my family, especially the guys, are all into DC and Marvel, I did get these. I'm not quite sure where I got them from actually. And this like sort of comic one. So I've got used. Another one, what was one of my favourites. These are just little scraps. If they get a little bit crisp, but not too bad. Little bits like this. I sometimes wrap, it depends on timing and everything, wrap everything that goes in Christmas stockings. It also, as I said, depends on how I feel at the time. I'm really behind. I haven't even done my stockings yet. So, yeah. Then I've got, these boxes came from an online magazine. It was a set of and it obviously they go into each other, but I tend to store things in different boxes if I'm not going to use them. Like this one, it's quite a big one there. It's got, these are the ribbons I tend to put on my lounge doors for cards. I don't know about anybody else. Haven't received that many cards. I don't think people are sending cards and giving to charity, which is where fair enough. It's when I don't actually get a response, say for from family members, you know, if they received the cards. That's all I like to know, especially how the post has been. And I've got other things that I'm not using as decorations, and I've put them in here either to put on parcels. Now I remembered I had these, but because I've got like black and white sort of decor, especially in my dining room, I'm thinking about actually rubbing these down. I keep saying that, and painting them, because they're quite chunky and they can actually just sort of stand on a unit. I could even take the cord bit out and things like that. So I've got a few in there. These were free with the magazine. I used to have them in the tree in the dining room, in the main bedroom, but it's now Mickey and Minnie, so I've kept those in there because I could also put them in a decoration. And just basic ribbon. Some ribbons tend to come back after Christmas from family members, so I can reuse it, especially if they're not bothered. I have got some sort of money wallets here. I do have some sticky labels. Again, it depends if I'm rushed or whatever. I try and pace myself, but I'm really late doing my wrapping because of everything that's going on at the moment. But I do like to have some sticky labels. These, I haven't bought any sticky labels as far as I know for quite some time, so I'm sort of using pieces up. I've got these gift boxes. I do like the more natural look, but with these I can also dress them up in lots of bits and pieces, little mini baubles, you know, some maybe holly or candy canes or anything, and they do you know, show up. Here I've got a lot of labels, tags and everything. I get a lot of these sort of after Christmas. Ignore most of these prices because that's not what I paid for them, and sometimes I pay some ridiculous sort of prices, like this one, 25p. This was from Peacocks, and it's obviously the letter. Sometimes I pick those straight up after Christmas, and they go in here. And the best thing about, because this is under the bed, especially if I find things, you know, through the year, like, I can just sort of put them in here and they're all corralled and I know exactly what I've got. Failing that, it comes to gift bags and boxes, which is possibly the way it's going so far this year, to say that we're on the last stretch to Christmas now, so and I'm not anywhere near to being done. I've got all me little tiny sort of bags, and again I tend to pick those up after Christmas. I don't think I actually picked much up after Christmas last year. I think this might have been one of the items I did pick up. And isn't these gorgeous? These are from the Works. These were down to £1. And for, how many is there? I'm blind as a bat. 4. And they are so sweet. And that you can put a tiny little gift in, pair of socks, key ring, and maybe some chocolates. And you're done. Do you know what I mean? I've even used those sort of things for guests when they leave our home. And right underneath, I've actually got larger bags. But to tell you the truth, at some point, whether I'm going to thin this out or if I'm not using it, I tend to like to buy the bags from Poundland, you know, the actual Christmas shopping bags, and use those even if I've wrapped the gifts up and put in there. The only reason I haven't got rid of my older gift bags is like now, if I haven't got the time. It sounds awful because I absolutely love wrapping up. is that I can put it in the bag and just top it off with some tissue paper for quickness. I'm hopefully not going to get down that way. I've got one of these actually in my cupboard downstairs. I'm sure, there we are, 50p. I did pay £1 for the one I recently purchased. I think it was £1, but these I obviously got after Christmas, 50p. So things that are actually going to either get dumped or whatever, I don't tend to like to pay too much for them. And look at this little box here. I don't think that's got anything in at the moment. And then I've got these I got from the charity shop. I keep saying I'm going to use those at Easter. I think I paid something like 99p, and it's come with all these, the Santa ones down there and the rabbit ones, but I still haven't got round to using the Easter ones. But as I said, and then it's all just layered up. That plain red wrapping paper is the one that I normally find the hardest to find, especially as I don't want it really glossy. That's the one when I use that on, say, little boxes of chocolates, matchmakers, and then I use this ribbon on it and then put the tag underneath. Just I've said that a number of times. I like buying these baubles and filling them up with again, earrings, key ring, chocolates, bit of both sometimes, going right down to like little mini stockings. Now this store's been gone absolute years, and there we are, £1. And this sort of thing, giving you some ideas, I mean, depending on the size of your gift box or whatever, if that was a bigger box, I would have had that on there, or I would use that sort of thing if I've got plain gold wrapping paper, or as I've always got on hand, parcel paper. And I would possibly put that with a tag, and then I would put candy cane in there, sweets or something like that. So just word there, and going down quite a bit here. Got some more stickers. This sort of thing I got from Amazon, and I think if they still do them, they're probably more expensive. I think I paid something like 50p or £1 for it. I think that was the last one I got. Like I said, I do like the more natural sort of bags as well, but they're going down into different sizes. I've got these. Again, if I was to have something more plainer, again, parcel paper, I would put that. I'd like that with maybe red and white baker's twine and a candy cane. So yeah, just a few ways that I like to decorate or have decorated in the past. It's not necessarily, let's just switch that up again. There we are. May not happen so much now. I was hoping to do it, but even if it's too late for yourselves this year, it might give you some ideas ready for next year if I get a chance to wrap up. I'm definitely going to do our granddaughter's gifts, definitely going to wrap those up, and I'll see what time I'm getting as I go along. As I say, some things might be, you know, sort of quite late. So I just wanted to quickly share all this, and this is how I store everything and labelled up and everything. These are sort of bottle gift bags. We don't drink, and a lot of our family don't drink, but what I like to do, and most of my family know this because I don't usually get drinking, but I've done these before, especially for our sons and everything, and put a tube of Pringles in there and snacks instead of alcohol. It's just a way of doing that sort of thing, and you know, anything that's sort of that length. I've even put, you know, and I've sort of mentioned that, you know, in case someone gets excited that it's alcohol, and I say no. I've also buy a lot of those juices that look like wine, but are not, if that makes sense, non-alcohol. So that's the sort of thing I've done with these things before, and I've stuffed it, say, with like a movie, almost like a movie bucket, but a bag without the movie, because I'm sure I tried it before and the DVD doesn't fit actually in the bag, where you can have your snacks, your sweets and things like that, and even you can put a bottle or a can of juice or drink or pop or whatever in there. Just a few ideas out there, as I said, how I use decor. I'll try and share some of it maybe tomorrow after I've been to the hospital, but I've got a hospital appointment on my left eye, and also I've got to go and see my mum. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.